Okay, so today I'm doing a little bit of work on the batteries, see if I can make them survive another year. My goal, at least. That'd be great. The batteries are coming up on 7 years old, so they're significantly old. Now there's a couple new ones in there, newer ones I should say. One I bought this past year, and no, the other one maybe, oh man, I can't even remember when I bought that. But anyway, so right now, let's talk about the generator. The generator right now, well, has 330 hours on it, but that's not what I wanted to talk about. It's running the house by itself now. The last year I had the Power Smart, it wouldn't allow the freezer to start, which didn't make sense to me, really. I mean, the inverter allows the freezer to start, but the generator wouldn't. But this one did it. But this one's also 500 watts more. This is 1500 watts. That last one was 1000 watts. But this one, it's running the freezer and it's not even ramping up the RPMs. So that's great. So the reason I'm running the house off the generator, I'm going to run it for most of the day now, is I'm degassing or gassing or whatever you want to call it, the batteries. So we've had a night that got down to 7 degrees and I didn't have any issues with the batteries. Batteries made it through the night just fine. The night before last though, I woke up at 1:30. Well, maybe there was 4 nights. I guess there was 4 nights. Anyway, the next night, one of the nights, it got below 20 degrees. I woke up in the morning and we didn't have any electric. And what was that? I don't remember. Doesn't matter. Then again, night before last, excuse me, I woke up at 1:30 and we didn't have any electric. But this time, that was explainable. I accidentally left the large charge controller on, which uses probably about 20 amps. I mean, it was a lot of electricity just sitting there not doing anything. So last night, made sure everything was fine, and we made it till about 3:30, 4 o'clock before we lost electric last night. So I decided to come down here and examine the batteries. And what I found was 3 of the batteries was a little bit low on water. Not a lot. I could see the plate, but it wasn't like bone dry or anything. So I got some distilled water and I filled the cells. It's not drastic, so I'm hoping I can save them by filling them up. Now, the other thing I did was I increased the voltage of the battery. So you'll see here it says 15.5. So I've raised it to 15.5. Now normally I run it at 14.3. And the reason I have to run it at 14.3 when it's charged. So it's charging and max charge is 14.3. It's because the inverters cut out at 14.4. Older inverters that I used, I had it running at 14.4, but these said 14.3. So I dropped it to 0.1 volts. So what I'm doing now is, you'll see on your battery chargers, you'll have Recondition. I think that's the one. Yeah, so this is a Recondition. And so that's exactly what I'm doing with the solar panels right now. Is I've got the solar panels charged, or what it's doing is desalsifying the plates. Over time, the kind of like a calcium material will build up on the plates, and that's what starts to lose your voltage. So if you can boil that off. So right now the batteries are boiling. So if you can boil that off and clean them off at a higher voltage like this for a few hours, then you might be able to save the batteries for, you know, a little bit more time. So, but I only had 3 batteries that were low on water, so this isn't serious. If I replace them, you know, they're like $120 a piece or something like that. I'll just have to get 3 of them. And I know which 3 it was. It was these 2 and that one. Which is kind of odd, because usually it's the batteries that received the charge. So it should be this one and this one. Now you'll see that this is all crudded up. I get yelled about this all the time by subscribers. That's not actually acid. I clean them using a baking soda and water mix, and that boils off all that acid. So they're clean. That's just baking soda. So then, after the sun goes down, which would be 1, 2 o'clock, I won't be getting that 15.5 volts anymore. So at that point, I will just let the batteries die off. Now, there's nothing hooked up right now. You'll hear the fan running, but I had to hardwire this. When I bought it, the fan didn't work. The on-off switch didn't work, so I just hardwired it. I took it apart, hardwired the fan, so it always runs now. So in order to run that, I literally have to disconnect it, and I don't want to do that. But that's just like a milliamp fan. It's not dramatic. So no heavy loads. You don't want any heavy loads on this while you're doing this desulfication. So if I go to bed at night and we're still at 12 point, I'll check it probably about 6 o'clock. If we're at 12.3, 4 or 5, somewhere around there, then I'll know that the batteries are doing okay. I suspect we'll be all right. Yesterday we were at 12.3, and it had ran for, there was actually a load on it for several hours. So I think we'll be okay. Like I said, we made it almost through the night. This is why I have such a large battery bank, is just in case these batteries start to die over the years. How do I explain this? If I have one battery and it drops down over, as it gets older, then I have to replace that battery like every 2 or 3 years. But if I got 8, well, 8 is more than enough electricity to run the house. It's a ton more than what I need. So as the batteries start to decline in health, I don't have to go out and replace it right away. I don't know if that makes any difference or what, but to me it seems like it's a better plan. I know I have one battery, well actually 2 batteries, when we were using the truck camper, and I didn't like that system. It was always struggling. I had the truck battery hooked up to it and a regular RV battery, or a regular battery and a RV battery, and I wired them together. But it was always struggling, I felt like. Well, with 8 I've never had a problem ever until now. Now the thing about lead acid batteries is you really got to be diligent about making sure they get charged up every day. If you don't get them charged up every day, even if I say charged up, you need to get above 13.6 volts every day. And you shouldn't let it get much below 12.3 volts every night. Well, as the time goes on, that has been harder to do, to keep it above 12.3 volts. But we're still above 11.8. And I looked today, you had these guys on YouTube years ago saying never get it below 12.3. Technically that's true, but 11.8, you get it below 11.8, and what it has to do is essentially cold temperatures, is what I'm learning today. Now, I don't know how true all this is. It's just, kind of re-educating myself, because years ago I always thought it was 12.3, but I'm learning some new information now. I don't know if it's just easier to find or what it is, but it has to do with temperatures. So if you're in between 15 and 20 degrees, you cannot be below 11.9 volts. Otherwise, you risk freezing your batteries. So that last night, then it was 17 degrees. Not last night, but the night before last, it was 17 degrees, and the batteries died at I woke up at 1:30. I don't know how long they had been dead. You know, I had discharged to the point that the inverter shut off. See, that's what's my savior there, is the inverter. It shuts off at 11.8. So that tells me that the 11.8 is the threshold of damaging the batteries. So but I got up and started the generator, so I don't think I hurt them. The other thing, you would notice cracks and bulges in the battery if it had froze. I don't have any of that. I think we're fine. I think with it shutting off at 11.8 or 11.9, whatever it is, then I don't ever risk that problem. Now, I've had them really cold, but I'm going to keep an eye on them. Now that I know I may have a problem with the batteries, I'm going to keep an eye on them. I'm going to work with them. And if I can, if I have to, what I'll do is exactly what I'm doing right now. I still have the other generators. If I find I have a problem, what I'll do is, if I have to, I may not have to, I can use solar panels like I'm doing right now, but I can continue to degas these. I noticed that when we were living in our truck camper, when we were parked at a stationary place for over a month at Mom's house, we didn't move. And I just left the battery charger on. Well, that particular battery charger will kick on once an hour or so for 5 or 10 minutes and then shut off. Kick on once an hour and shut off. And after that month of being there, the batteries were in a really good charged state. It was like a new battery. Well, I knew when I got here that wasn't going to work because we would always be hooked up. In order to do what I did at Mom's house, you have to have the batteries completely disconnected from everything so it can get up there and go into an equalization. I think it's called equalization, or a float state, or whatever it is. You got to get it up there so you just hang out and stay completely charged, like having a trickle charger on it all the time. You know, if you can keep that battery in a full charge state, the house, we have a battery in the house to run the water pump. It has a trickle charger on it all the time. Well, that pump doesn't run all the time. It only runs for a few minutes. It's a 6-amp pump, but it only runs for a few minutes. I mean, the most, like a shower, is a 10-minute shower at the most. So it has the rest of the time to sit there and trickle charge back up. So it's almost always at a constant state of 13.6 volts. So if I have to, I will just charge the batteries on the generator and just go out the cost of the gasoline for a few days, because I'd have to run 2 generators and solar panels and, you know, the whole thing. And just sit there and constantly trickle charge those batteries back into a better state and see if that works. Assuming this helps. I think this is going to help. All the cells are bubbling like they're supposed to. None of them are getting hot. So I think we're in good shape. I don't think I've damaged them. It's just I had some cells that were low. And the other thing, I didn't know this until today. I check the cell's water level every 6 months. But I found out today that the older the batteries get, the more water it uses, those batteries will use. So you got to check them more frequently. So I'll check them every 3 months now. Yeah, again, I mean, it's not really, I don't think I've hurt them. So I'm going to come down here, since I mentioned it in this video. I'm going to check on, make sure none of them are hot. Since check the temperature, since we got it all up to 15 volts. They're all cold. That's a good sign. Yep. I'll check the back side. Yep, they're all good. And the amps have dropped on this. So we're 4 there. Let's see where we're at here. So we're at 9 amps total. And we were at 11. Well, I was at 11 when we started, so you know, that means that it's getting charged up really good at 15.5 volts. And they've not heated up, so that's a good sign. So if you'll click this up next box, it'll take you to a video on my other channel. We appreciate it. Go check it out. So if I can inspire you, I don't know, do some maintenance again now and again, I guess, so you can live your dreams. Thanks for watching.